hinted that maybe I should try something else. I looked hard at my dad. He was tall and stocky, with wide shoulders and a firm jaw that could have been used as an anvil. He was strong, too, built like a tank. He stood out in a crowd. Not me. I must have missed out on the park genes, because I just naturally looked like a zero you'd never notice. I might make a good spy one day, though. You wouldn't see me coming. Part of me wanted to like soccer, or hockey, or rugby, and have Dad on the sidelines cheering for me. But wishing for it wasn't going to make it happen. I was going to be 12 at the end of the year, and if it hadn't happened by now, it wasn't going to. Team sports and Evan Park did not go well together. You learn a lot of life lessons, he continued when I failed to respond. Like how to push people around over a ball? I don't do team sports, Lydia said. She lifted her eyes off the screen and leaned back in the chair to look at us. You're a girl. It's different. Lydia almost fell to the ground. But you do a good job at gymnastics. Look at all your pretty ribbons. He pointed to the glass IKEA display cabinet with 5 shelves. Dad's and Lydia's shelves were the fullest. Lydia had all her gymnastics medals and trophies, and Dad's shelf had something from every year he was on the high school rugby team. Even Mom had a typing award from the Stone Age when they used typewriters. I'd seen one in a museum. Pretty ribbons? Lydia repeated with outrage. Rein in the stereotypes, Dad! She huffed and crossed her arms. At least Lydia had something good to put inside the cabinet. The only thing I had in there was a ribbon from a sports day 2 years ago. Everybody got a ribbon that day. Did I just hear something offensive? Mom asked, as she emerged from the basement carrying a laundry basket on her hip. Mom shook her head and said quietly to Dad, Honestly, John, you've got 2 girls. You can't think like that. I can't help the way I think, Dad huffed. Okay, then don't talk like that, Mom scolded. The corners of her eyes crinkled. Dad sighed and turned to me. Looks like the ladies don't want me to talk about guy stuff anymore. I gave him the smallest of shrugs. I didn't want him to talk about guy stuff anymore either. Ev, just promise me you won't quit on team sports yet, okay? I said nothing because in my mind, I already had. Georgia, my little sister, and the only one with an emptier shelf in the cabinet than me, waddled into the living room. She wasn't wearing pants, only a very puffy pull-up diaper and a large old hand-me-down t-shirt with a graphic of a Korean finger heart that a great-aunt from Busan had sent Lydia ages ago. It said something in Korean characters, but none of us could read Hangul, not even Mom or Dad. I hoped it didn't say anything embarrassing, because even I wore that tee when I was small. She said in her squeaky toddler voice, Yeah, stop talking about sports. Georgia pointed her spill-proof snack cup filled with goldfish crackers at Dad and gave it a shake. I'd better just go somewhere and keep quiet, Dad grumbled. Putting his hand on Georgia's head as he walked by, he shuffled to the sofa in the family room at the back of the house and reached for the remote control. He said loudly, Just keep doing your exercises, Ev. Make sure you do it right. Then he flicked on the TV, and I heard the opening music for SportsCenter. He may as well have said, Don't screw it up like you always do, because that's all I heard. 2. Kids-only physio. Darren stood across from me in the therapy room. Once I started, he glanced down at his clipboard. It was challenging, but I finished the set of exercises where I had to bend a rigid bar of foam into a U shape and then hold it like that for 5 seconds. I put the bar down on the table in the corner of the room. After 10 reps, my hands and right wrist were weary, and I gave them a good shake. Darren, wearing the same shorts and t-shirt he seemed to wear every week, had started doing squats while making notes. He was the most active 20-something-year-old I had